gives me great pleasure to have the wonderful MJ here today with me on our channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. MJ does the most amazing tarot readings, astrology readings. Please check out her YouTube channel, which is Soulful Revolution. And I think you have another channel, which is...
I do. We've expanded a little bit. I have a second channel called Souls on Fire, which is more informational and educational videos. I do a Learn Tarot channel, and I do a pure Zodiac channel. So we're spiraling out here, Bracha. We're getting bigger.
Wonderful. And there are so many people that want to learn tarot and astrology. So please do check out MJ's channels.
Thank you, Bracha.
So MJ, how would you best say that we can navigate these very challenging times right now? What would be your...
I mean, before we got going, Bracha and I were talking about, I, on my channel, receive a lot of questions about people having difficulty with this Piscean energy. We have a stellium in Pisces, right? You can speak to that. There's a lot going on with the Neptune and Jupiter conjunction in April. And just this feeling of like, I'm unmoored from where I'm supposed to be. I don't know how I'm supposed to navigate this. I mean, every single day I get questions about it. And I myself have had a lot of sleepless nights and working through it. And it is about perspective, about looking at it as an opportunity. Okay, what are you saying to me? Because in a lot of ways, these energies bring the veil much thinner for us, so that we can really knock on the door of like, okay, I know y'all want to open to your guides and everything. Now's the time. You know, it might feel tough, but this is the time to do that.
Beautiful. And because it's tough, all the more reason to have faith, which is very much the Piscean motto. Absolutely. That you are being taken care of.
Yes.
And to be creative, to let your creativity flow without necessarily seeing results. This is the biggest thing.
That's a hard thing for someone who is potentially toxically productive. And
I get it. I'm very structured. I love my work. And in many ways, I've not been able to do it as disciplined and as rigidly as usual. Yeah.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. And it is a challenge. And I like the way you talk about the Mars conjunct Saturn as an opportunity for us to put some effort in, you know. And I do like Saturn for the fact that usually it leaves a little gifty if you do if you work with the energy, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's a tangible gift. The nice thing about Saturn is you see something as a result of your labors. So you may have to work hard to kind of rein yourself into one thing, Mars and Saturn, one thing at a time. But if you're willing to do that, then you can accomplish a great deal with that aspect.
I agree. I mean, the other thing about Jupiter and Neptune, I have felt that the veil, like I was saying, veil is kind of thin with ancestors. I've been feeling more called to do readings about ancestor messages for us as a collective and for how we're able to navigate what's going on right now. There's, so many things so many truths that we believed were the truth are being shown to not be the truth.
Absolutely.
And so, right?
Yes. Our history, for example, all the things that we've been led to believe, are they true? And if not, what is true?
Right. And I think that, a lot of the things I talk about on my channel about North Node is that North Node in Taurus, we are here at this time to decide what we value, and not just personally, but as a collective.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. What's important? I mean, that's what I'm often telling people. Reevaluate your life, because our values have changed. The things that we did value might not be there anymore. And now, Taurus, it's like, this is bringing beauty into your life. bringing love into your life, but in a very tangible way. Taurus says, right, I want to touch it. I want to smell it. I want to feel it. I want to taste it. It's the awakening of the senses.
All the senses. That's good. I like that.
But I like that. I love that. As a collective, we have to look at, well, what are we valuing? And I think that the financial system is under tremendous strain right now. Many people are quite frightened as to, you know, what on earth is coming next.
I agree.
You know,
it's very loud here in the States. You know, just, I mean, I don't know about you, but I get tons of emails every day from all of the things I've subscribed to and all of the things I'm part of. And just the use of fear, the use of insecurity, the threat of insecurity is being used as a marketing tool so much right now that it's very hard, I think, for people to not get triggered constantly. And so, you know, that again, that Neptune, Jupiter about like perspective and like being able to ground yourself and realize that, you know, the triggers are coming from everywhere. I'm a big fan of journaling. I don't know about you, Bracha, if you have a journal. I know you paint and you do the beautiful, I've been working on it. I'm trying, but
yes, you're painting too, aren't you, MJ?
I was painting yesterday. I tried to paint like, I'm like starry night. I just wanted to paint that. And I was a little frustrated with my lack of ability, but but it was fun. And that I wanted to embrace the fun of it, and without it becoming a career, without it becoming, right, your job, like just like try to embrace a little bit of fun.
Yes.
And I think that might help the energies right now.
Yeah. No, that's really important. So I would say as well, what's coming through is the animals. I think the animals too have got a lot to share with us, haven't they?
Oh my goodness. I can't believe you said that. This week is Charlie and Maisie's birthday. And so I reached out to the breeder where we got them from, and they said that they didn't know the birth time, but we know the birth date at least. So I was thinking about doing a little chart for the two doggies, and all of my animals that have passed away seem to be showing up a lot more. I'm really, you know, I'm surprised at how much Stella and Ellie and my other kitty cats are showing up just as a comfort. Yes.
The animals, we really must begin to listen to the animals and their messages, and really care for them during this time, because they're feeling it too. Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, it may look as though they don't, but they are feeling along with us so much of what's going on. Yeah,
that's very true. And they don't have words to share, but they do, you know. Yeah, we need to take good care of the animals. That's for sure.
So the ancestors, the animals, our history, and what kind of a world do we envision? This is Jupiter, Neptune. What's your vision? What's the dream that you want to create for yourself and for the world? What kind of a world do we want? Do we want a world where people don't speak to each other? They walk past each other? Or do we, you know?
I have to say that I feel like what might emerge from all this, and this is my sincere hope, is that empathy and compassion are superpowers. And I want to see that emerge. That's my hope. And there are a lot of competing visions about what the world would look like in that way. If empathy and compassion are allowed to rule the day, that's the very divine feminine energy stepping up. And, you know, instead of becoming like, you know, I always feel like the masculine and feminine are required to come into balance for us to really be able to have any of these things show up in a balanced way for all of us. Right. So each one of us, this is a little bit of a masculine feminine balance right now. If you're very masculine right now, may get knocked on your butt by that whole like Neptune, Jupiter stuff, right? Because it's much more yin kind of energy. So I'm looking forward to this, but I feel like over the next couple of years, things are going to change radically.
Yes. Yes. And I think that with the North Node in Taurus, it's important to look at how you feel about money, security. All these issues are going to come up big time. A lot of people are losing their jobs, not knowing. And Taurus asks you to look for your talents, look for your gifts. Taurus rules value in terms of gifts and abilities. So it's very much Taurus, Venus ruled, finding your love, trusting it, Venus in Pisces, trusting that what you love will guide you, even though there may be no evidence at all financially yet that this is the way to go. Mars Saturn says to you, well, if you don't have an income, get an income, start somewhere. Yeah, you've got to start.
Yep.
So we're looking at how we use money. You've got the cryptocurrencies, we've got all sorts of new things coming on board, and it's very uncertain.
It is. And one of the things that has shown up, I do a morning reading every day, and I'm about to do it for tomorrow and right now. And one of the things I noticed in my own personal readings is that, what does money mean to you? So if you're, for some people, it means safety. For some people, it means freedom. For some people, it means revenge. You know, for some people, it means hoard and greed and other things. And so what is it representing for you? That's part of the perspective of it, right? If it's about gaining freedom, then how can you create money that supports the kind of freedom you want? If it's about, just having this huge, bank account, then okay. I mean, I don't know, but if that's what makes you feel a certain way, a good way, hopefully, then that's what you need to look at putting into place if that's what you'd like to do. It's interesting that money is so emotional. We don't teach it. We don't talk about it, right?
Why don't we teach that? Why don't we teach financial management in school? Why don't we teach, all these basics? Because it's so tied up with so much emotion. And this is this North Node in Taurus. We've got to really bring it down away from the South Node in Scorpio, which is the drama and the intensity, and all of that.
Tossing oneself into graves and such.
And Taurus says, right, well, how do we afford this? What are we going to do?
Right.
And also looking at what is enough? At what point is it enough?
Yes. I mean, money is a very emotional topic for people, and mostly because it's so mystical to people that because we don't teach it, we make it like a black box. Like we don't know how it works and how it gets around. And there's a lot of, I'm sure there are plenty of structures in our world that are created that would not be okay for most people if they understood that that's how money worked. And right. And so there's just this perception issue about this is how money works. And, I talk a lot about how, the pie, there's a lot of people who believe there's one pie. And if I get more, that means you get less. And that's not true. The universe is unlimited. Just make more pie. Just make more pie. Let's make more pie. And I think that feels to me like where we're going. And I am holding that as my northern star, that we, all understand that abundance is for everyone, that we are able to tap into that. You've been told you can't tap into that. You've been told that you're not allowed to get outside of a box that you've created. And it's utter nonsense. It's absolute nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah. It's breaking down these illusions. All of those illusions and delusions.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's beautifully put, MJ. I love what you said there. Yeah,
thank you.
Really great, because and I would say to people listening now, what comes up for you when we say the word money? What comes up? Woo! Where is it in your body? What's the first 3 thoughts about money? Right, that's going to give you clues. Yeah, you might want to put it in the chat box, guys, or whatever you want to put anywhere. But let's begin to bring this to light. Jupiter, Neptune tends to want to keep you a little bit drugged. Hey, right. No, is it fair that bankers just add zeros and then give you a more Right?
It's called creeping decimalism, and no, it's not okay.
Right?
And I always laugh when I get my like 5 cents sent to me from like, hey, we're giving money back. Yeah. And I've long been a person who is not, I like working for myself, and I like being, an entrepreneur and able to, but we're all stepping into that energy now. And so what are we creating? What impact do you want to have in the world? And being in alignment with that, that's the thing that brings money in. It's almost like being out of alignment with what you're creating in the world that's the toxic energy that keeps money away. So,
absolutely. And it's amazing how these things work on the physical and the emotional level, is that we've got an energy crisis, oil crisis, gas, that's very much Neptune, Jupiter, Pisces. We've got that crisis, but we've got a crisis of where do we put our energy?
yes.
Because where you put your energy is what really is very, very important, what you're doing with your time and why. Yeah, and all those things, we've got to be productive, we've got to all of those messages.
Pentacles, right? Pentacles is time. It's a tangible measure of how we spend our energy is our time. What are we putting our time to?
Right. And then there's the 80-20 rule that 20% of your time actually brings 80% of your income. But it's time to just reevaluate, as you said, what's the value to you in your life right now? Yeah, if you had to come up with your top values, what would they be, MJ, now for you?
I feel like my values revolve around information and education. I feel like my values revolve around health and well-being, and around a connection to mystical. I'm working on my connection to the mystical, and I see how my radio gets in and out of tune with those other two things not being in alignment, right? If I'm not really learning anything, this is just I have so much air in my chart. If I'm not really learning anything, it's like I'm not filling my cup or something.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then there's this well-being part of it that I feel rejuvenated, and then that makes my readings more effective. It makes my connection to people more effective. I don't feel pressured or pushed or stressed or strained or anything. So that's what my values are currently. Bigger values. We can talk about that over a glass of wine sometime.
That's beautiful. Thank you. But that adds up, because you're taking in the nourishment of information, of learning, of studying. Yeah, I mean, that's extremely important. Then there's the health and the well-being element. I mean, I love the way you piece that together, and that improves your output.
Absolutely.
You're then inspired. Yeah,
you can't pour from an empty cup, and some days are a little bit empty, so you got to kind of work on that.
Yeah, you've got to fill it up with all the gratitudes and all the things that you do have already. Yeah,
very true.
We know that, but it's wow.
Very
wow,
true.
MJ, is there a message that you'd like to share with us? Is there something?
I'll do a little reading for everybody watching. Let's do a little bit of that. And
thank you.
So this is okay. So let me see what wants to come through here. This is my little I love this deck, the Cosmic Journey Oracle. It's one of my favorite decks. And listen, in the stillness, you meet your true self. This is a thing that I've been doing and practicing myself. More meditation. I went to a transcendental meditation workshop over the weekend, and really getting yourself grounded and saying your mantra and being able to just be in that stillness without all of this stuff going on around us, without all of that Neptune kind of disconnected, the world. And look at that. Look at this, Bracha, the truth coming through here. This is like the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle, where the truth is going to be more important. We talked about that too. So a little bit of stop and go here I'm seeing a little desire for reconnection, people wanting to reconnect, people wanting to, but holding back. There's still quite a bit of fear, or just like we've created bubbles for ourselves. And how can we reconnect in a new world? How can we use the energies and surf the energies and be with the energies? There's going to be a lot of upheaval. I'm seeing that with the 5 of Wands. And it really is, oh my goodness, oh, this is lovely. It really is about learning some new things so we can transform and update our conversation. I feel like the stories we're telling ourselves, and I'm even hearing it from me a little bit, and you know, the things you choose to watch and how you take in media, you know, it's not about shutting everything out. It is about perspective. It's about updating the stories about who we are as a collective and how we talk about ourselves. And I think that that is the beginning part of manifesting a new kind of experience.
Totally. In the beginning was the word. So what are
Correct.
the words that were said? Beautifully put. Thank you.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
That's
You are welcome. I'm so happy to be here. It's lovely to talk to you.
Thank
Just
you
made my
so
day.
much, MJ. It's been a delight to be with you. As I said before, I could talk with you for hours. So, sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze, but it didn't. Okay.
My nose is itchy now that you're saying that.
I passed it on. But thank you so much. Please check out MJ, check out her channels, check out her wonderful readings. She does so many. I think you do one a day, don't you?
Oh my goodness. Yes, it's been like that for a while. The morning is a very important time for me. And so this is when after like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, not so much. So I do a lot in the morning and then I publish them in the morning.
Fantastic. So I'm recommending that you really go and check out MJ. She's absolutely wonderful, very inspiring, very much to the minute. And I think you'll get a lot of value from her work. So thank you very much, MJ.
Thank you, my darling.